Imagine walking into a house that looks ordinary on the outside, but inside, where the furniture is made of human bones, the lampshades of human skin, and there's a headless body hanging from the ceiling. This sounds like something out of the darkest corners of a horror movie, right? But for the people of Plainfield, Wisconsin, this was terrifyingly real. Ed Gein, the man behind it all, wasn't a fictional villain. He was a quiet, unassuming farmer. But when police stepped into his world in 1957, they uncovered horrors that would inspire some of the most iconic horror movies in history. Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs. And the reality of Ed Gein's twisted mind is far more disturbing than anything Hollywood could dream up. Stick around, because this story only gets darker from here. Let's rewind. Plainfield, Wisconsin was a sleepy rural town where everyone knew everyone else. Among them was Ed Gein, a shy, quiet man who lived alone on his family's decaying farm after his mother's death. Locals thought he was strange, but harmless. He helped neighbors with odd jobs, kept mostly to himself, and was known to be deeply devoted to his late mother, Augusta. But behind those timid eyes, a horrifying secret was festering. It started with small disappearances, people who just seemed to vanish into thin air. But it wasn't until November 16, 1957, when Bernice Warden, a hardware store owner, went missing, that the puzzle pieces fell into place. A blood trail led authorities to Ed Gein's isolated farm. What they found inside was beyond anyone's worst nightmare. As the officers entered Gein's house, they were hit with the overwhelming stench of decay. And then they saw it. Human body parts scattered everywhere. Human bones, body parts, and skin crafted into disturbing household items. A chair upholstered with human skin, a belt made of nipples, and even masks made from the faces of his victims. Skulls used as bowls. Human skin stitched together to form clothing. And worst of all, the body of Bernice Warden, decapitated and hanging like an animal in a slaughterhouse. But this wasn't just the work of a murderer. Gein had been digging up graves for years, exhuming bodies and using their remains for his twisted purposes. He later confessed that he was trying to create a woman's suit made of human skin so he could become his mother, who had dominated his life until her death. The trial was quick. Gein was found insane and spent the rest of his life in a mental institution. But his legacy, it still haunts us today. His crimes laid the foundation for some of the most iconic villains in horror films. Leatherface's mask, Norman Bates' obsession with his mother, all echoes of Ed Gein's disturbing life. If you thought this story was disturbing, wait until you hear the full extent of his crimes or the real-life details that didn't make it into the movies. I've got even more chilling stories like this one coming your way. If you want to dive deeper into the world of true crime, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You won't want to miss what's next.